I'm nervous, y'all. This is so crazy. But anyways, hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And if you are still subscribed after all of my disappearing and going away and coming back, thank you so much. I appreciate you. But anyways, as you could see in my previous video, my mom recently passed away due to COVID pneumonia. So I just want to sit and actually talk briefly about, like, grief, because I feel like I don't know, like, grief is not talked about enough. It's not like taken as serious, or it's just not expressed enough. And I told myself that I wasn't gonna film multiple takes of this video. I'm just gonna be as raw and real as possible, and if I cry, what else do you expect? My mom passed away. So yeah, I got like a whole little outline because my anxiety have been having my mind all over the place, so I can't even stay focused on one thing for long enough. So I was like, you know what, let me just point out everything that I actually want to talk about from start to finish. So here we go. So on August, hopefully I don't mix up any dates. I'm just going to try to recall it as much as possible. But I want to say me and my husband went on a trip in July. At the end of July, I remember coming back. It was like July 28th through the 30th or something of that sort. I remember coming back. My mom had the kids while we went on the trip, and I remember coming back at the end of July, and we picked up the kids. After being at home for a couple hours, my mom had called me and told me that my cousin, who lived with my mom, also had COVID. So my mom ended up catching COVID at the beginning of August. She ended up being hospitalized August 7th because she told me she wasn't feeling any better. She had been trying to fight it for about 6 days, and I immediately rushed over to her house. And I also had COVID during that time, but at that point it's like, I gotta get to my mama. I need to check on my mama. I already got COVID. She already got COVID. So none of that was in my head. So I rushed over to her and I checked my mom, oxygen levels, and it wasn't good. And I remember my doctor telling me that when I told my doctor that when I tested positive for COVID through my doctor, I remember my doctor telling me, like, the only thing, you can fight it at home, but the only thing I recommend is going to buy a pulse oximeter and monitor your oxygen level and your pulse. So if your oxygen levels drop below 94%, then you need to go to the hospital to be seen. So I went and checked my mom's oxygen. It was fine the first day that I checked it. It was within normal range. But then I skipped the day, and then the next day after that, when she told me she wasn't feeling any better, is when I went over to her house to check her oxygen. And it was really low, so she got admitted into the hospital. She was there. They were trying other steps when she was up and aware to fix the oxygenation levels, and about 3 days later she was ended up being sent to the ICU and being put on a ventilator, where she spent all the way until September 2nd on a ventilator, and basically it was nothing else they could do basically for her. So we just I made the decision amongst my siblings to unplug her, and that was just that. So after that, September 2nd, like, grief is tricky. It's hard. It's scary. I know I might not be making eye contact at the camera at all times, but I'm just like gathering my thoughts. Me, what I noticed, it was like, maybe other people feel the same way. It was feeling like it was consuming me. It started to, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I'm a very active mom. My kids get their meals. I don't let my kids eat all crazy. I'm a good wife. I was cooking meals. Like, I'm one of them. So yes. So yeah, I do all of that. I'm always on my P's and Q's. I got my life together, to say the least, at one point. But I felt like when I went through grief, it hit me like a ton of bricks. It's just like a weight that just sit on your chest every single day. it was like grief was making me, well, not was, grief is making me so sick. But I remember at the beginning, I was just like so sick during the whole time my mom was in the hospital, like wondering like what's gonna happen next. Oh, is she gonna make it? I remember when my mom, when I dropped her off at the hospital, because I dropped her off, she had COVID, and I wasn't able to go be there with her. She was not allowed. She was isolated for 21 days without her family or any support in that hospital. So yeah, I was just the last person that basically seen her, really. I don't even remember what I was saying because my mind just went blank. But yeah, I was just the last person to end up seeing my mom. When I dropped her off at the hospital. But yeah, it just kind of consumed me. And I remember like after, like I remember being so sick all those days. I remember her being like I remember being at home like stressed out, like even the day I dropped her off. And then as days progressed and I was like, okay, I'm waiting on some news, like I'm waiting on some better news, I started to lose hope. I started to feel so sick. I was so stressed. Like it was, I can't even explain the feeling of sickness. I don't know what it is, but it just made me feel so sick to my stomach. Like I couldn't focus, I couldn't think, I couldn't do any of my regular everyday stuff that I normally would do. So yeah, it pretty much like consumed everything in me. So I realized something though, like with the support, I'm starting to see stuff starting to slowly adjust a little bit. And it's only been a month. My mom just passed away September 2nd. So of course I'm not trying to rush it, but I have my moments where I'm like, okay, when is it gonna get better? When is it gonna get better? And just like everybody telling me, and just like I realized, it doesn't get easier. Like you learn ways to cope and deal and push through it, but it don't get easier. Like it's a pain that can't be fixed. It's the pain that can't be felt unless you're going through it. Like nobody can do anything for it. It's like, how can I help you? Yeah, you can go to therapy. Yeah, you can take medicine. Yeah, you can do all of these things, but it's just like nobody can fix what's going on. Nobody can snap a finger and bring my mom back, bring our mom back, because she left behind. My mom it's 9 of us, so nobody can bring her back. So it's just like finding ways to cope and find ways to be okay. So one thing that's really been helping me is my husband. Like he's just so supportive, and I'm just so grateful for that, because it's like we balance each other out. When he's down and he have his low moments, I'm there to pick him back up. And now that I'm down and I'm having my low moments and he's in his decent moment, he's in his moment in life where he's content and he's happy, he's growing, and he's just doing all these things that's just thriving and exceeding as a man, a husband, and a father. So now he's able to like help me through this, and we just talk all the time. And I like how he keep it like raw with me. Like you have to really want it. I know some days it feel like things aren't gonna get better, this and that, but it's gonna get better, and you really have to make yourself like want to get up out the bed. And think about that person, the person that you lost. When I think about my mom, I think about like she wouldn't want me to just give up. She wouldn't want that for me, because I'm her child that's always made her proud. Like I look forward to making my mom proud. I always talked about how, oh, when I get rich one day, I cannot wait to be rich one day, or to be so successful so I can buy my mom a house. Anytime I get any type of money or anything that involves money, I would be like, oh yes, I'm finna go get my mama some. I'm about to give my mama about half of this. Like that, I don't know, just like my mom did so much for me. Yeah, a parent's supposed to do things for you, but my mom went above and beyond for me. I had a child at a young age. She helped me raise that child. She made sure I finished school. When I wanted to go to get my nail technician license, I didn't have a car or anything. She made sure she paid for me to be able to have a ride to get there. And I'm grown at this point. It's just like so much stuff that my mom did for me that I can never repay her in like money. But I can repay her by still making her proud. I can repay her by still, carrying on and being the glue, because like with my siblings and stuff, I'm kind of everybody's person. So it's like, if you want to talk, you can come to me. If you need help with something, you can come to me. That's just who I am. I've been that for everybody. That's who my mom was as a person. And I feel like I got that trait from her. Like, I'm a genuine person and I really care for people. And she would literally give her last for people. And it's like, I'm the same way, but I'm learning how to kind of step back too much from that, because that will consume you. So, but what I realize is, I got to take baby steps. I really got to take babies. Really small victories is a big deal. Like the other day, I was able to go to a YouTube networking event that was hosted by I watched Tiara J here on YouTube, and I think two of her other friends. I don't remember both of their names. So yeah, but I went to a YouTube event, and originally when I got ready to buy the tickets, when I found out, I was like, yes, I'm so excited. I want to meet Tiara. But then I'm kind of like nervous, because it's like, grief has made me have that social anxiety. Like, I don't know, like your brain is just going 1,000 miles per hour. Only thing you're thinking about is the close person that you lost. So it's just like, I only want to be around people who are going through the same thing as me, like, or who are like, I only want to be around my siblings. I only want to be around my husband, like people like that. So yeah, it was just like, I didn't want to go nowhere. I didn't want to go anywhere that involves a lot of people or having to communicate with people. But I went to that YouTube networking event because, like I said, I want to make my mom proud. I'm going to continue doing things that I inspired to do. My goals, I'm going to continue to follow them. So I'm going to continue to do YouTube. I know that I don't want to quit YouTube. I know that I want to get better and more consistent on YouTube. I know that I want to grow this channel just beyond measures. I just know all of those things, and in order for me to do that, I really have to just get myself out there. So that's why I went to the event, and it really inspired me. It inspired me a lot, because it's something about being around like-minded people who are like you and want the same things as you. It inspired you a lot. So yeah, like when I went in there and I seen Tiara, and like we hugged, and hey girl, like oh my god, and like she said to me, like, girl, I've been watching you for years. I feel like I'm getting a celebrity. And I'm like, girl, I've been watching you for years. And she was just so genuine. And I'm like, dang, like she has a way bigger following than me. But to know that people out there, regardless of numbers or anything, watch me and like enjoy my content, obviously if they continue to watch it, like that just made me have a reason to keep going and go even harder with this YouTube stuff. And like I said, I have to make my mom proud. I have siblings. I have younger siblings. I have children. I have husbands. I just have so much more that I want for myself. So I'm gonna take baby steps. And that day when I went to that YouTube event, that was the first day I went a full 24 hours in the past 2 months of having a good day. And I was just like, oh my God, yes, I'm having a good day. But I will say that I am getting better. I'm not holding my feelings in. I don't hold back anything when it comes to like memories and keeping my mom name alive, because like I feel like if you didn't get a chance to meet her, you missed out. And no, my mom is not a celebrity or anything, but my mom is well known in the town that I grew up in and where I'm from. And she's done a lot for people. She will literally give her last to people. She cooked. She was an amazing cook. So many people in town would just try her food. It was to the point where like I would be out in public at stores and people would be like, hey, I know you're Rose's daughter. Like, oh, I know your mom. My mom would give out recipes to people, teach people stuff. If you need some life advice, if you don't have nobody to talk to, she was just, oh my God, she was just a gem. Like she was just a gift to this world. And that's why it's so unfortunate that we lost her. And with losing my mom, like my mom was married, so I have a stepdad and I have my real dad, but my closest relationship was with my mom. And my real dad, we're okay, but my closest relationship, my person, one of my people, like that was my mom. Like I talked to her every single day and I just call her for every little thing, and she molded me into a part of the woman that I am today. Certain parts I have craved out and became on my own, but she made me into this person. She made me into this amazing, strong, beautiful, great mother, like so many things. Like the list can go on for days. But yeah, my mom did all that for me. So it's like when I lost my mom, not having that close relationship with other parents, I feel like I lost my only parent. I feel like I lost my only parent, because she was just the epitome of a parent. Like, she had a special bond with me and all of my siblings. She knew how to, communicate, and we can come to her. Like, as we got older, we were able to come to her. Like, she was like our home girl, but she also, like, we also know, like, not to play games with her and stuff. But yeah, she was just everybody's person. She was amazing sister. She was amazing daughter. She was amazing friend. She was just, she is. I'm going to say she is. Because when I was watching the TED Talk, they said you don't have to say was. You don't have to use past tense. You don't have to say I loved her. I love her. She is amazing. She is the best person I have ever been blessed to be around in my life. I'm blessed to have come from her, to say the least. But what I have learned that I can live through grief. What my husband told me is, you can cry, you can grieve, but just don't give up. So if I want to go and cry while I'm washing the dishes, I can do that, but I'm getting stuff done. If I want to be sad while I'm doing my homework assignment, I can do that, but I'm still pushing through, doing regular things that need to be done in life. Of course, I have my days where it's so hard to get out of bed, but at the end of the day, I am a mother, I am a wife, I am a student, I am a sister, I am a friend, I am way beyond my grief being able to consume me. I know I have the strength to push through this because I am taking the proper steps. I'm getting ready to start therapy and just other steps to take for me to be able to properly heal. So I'm grateful that I recognize what's going on immediately, and I recognize that I need help immediately, and I'm going to get that help, and I'm going to push myself every day to wake up and get out of bed, even when it's hard, and even when I have a bad day. It's okay. You have a bad day, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to try it again the next day. That's just life. I decided to dedicate Sundays to my mom, to go to her grave and just sit with her, because just because she's not here as a physical person, that doesn't mean she can't be here in spirit for me. So I dedicated Sundays to just go sit at her grave, and just, if I want to let it out, I let it out right here. I sit there and talk as if she was there standing in front of me, listening to me and talking back. Like, I do that. I do what I need to do to be able to feel better. And when I went there, when I was going through it, and I just sat there on her grave and I just talked and I told her everything, I just felt so, like, relieved. Like, it's gonna be okay. She's okay. She's okay. And I just get little signs where I'm just like, yeah, it's okay. Just little stuff, I don't know, just little stuff where it just reminds me. Like the other day when we went to the grave on Sunday, and when we got back in the car to leave, a song came on. And what was so special about the song is we buried my granddad at the beginning of the year in January, like right after New Year's. And when we did his video slideshow for the funeral home, my mom wanted a specific song on his CD, and that was his intro song to his CD. So when I made that slideshow that I posted of my mom photos, I used the same song in the beginning. And when I got back in my car, the next song that popped on, it was that song. And it was like, I don't know, that song, like, it's one of those relief. It's like a relief. It's a gospel song. And the beginning of it is, I just want to make it to heaven. So if you heard it, you heard it. If not, you can check it out in the slideshow video. But yeah, I was just like, she's okay. She's okay. That song just randomly popping on, it tells me she okay. And I turned the song because it's hard for me to listen to it without just straight up crying my eyes out. But later I was like, you know what? When I'm feeling better, I'm going to listen to the song. So that's what I did. And I cried about it, and it's okay. It's okay that I cry about that song. Crying is okay. Letting it out is okay. Getting help is okay. My mom's name is Rose, and a rose symbolizes love, beauty, romance, and courage. And one thing that stuck out to me was love, because my mom loved everybody. She showed love to everybody. She spreaded love. She spreaded positivity. She would light up a room, and it was just so amazing. She represent love. She loved everybody, and everybody loved Rose. So I did decide that, what can I do? Like, what can I do? I'm just sitting here thinking, like, what can I do? Something that's special for her. So I was so nervous to film this video, but I kind of like stared around and everything so I wouldn't cry. But it's crazy because even just sitting here talking to this camera, I just feel so at peace being able to just talk about her and speak so highly of her and talk about how I feel. But I plan on continuing to talk about this journey and just be as raw, as real as possible. And I know I won't always have the best day and have the best outcomes, but just look forward to whatever grief is going to offer. And thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you guys so much for staying subscribed through all my inconsistencies. But just know that this is truly just the beginning for Diamond Quinshea. I have been getting into the t-shirt making business and everything, so I decided that I want to come out with some merch that represents my mom, and I'm going to be introducing So yes, you guys, this is the final product I came up with, and I just want to go a little bit more into detail as why I chose what I chose. So I chose the word love because, like I said, my mom, she spread a lot of positivity and love. Her name is Rose. A rose symbolized love, romance, all those different type of things. But what stuck out to me was the word love, because that just represents her, who she was as a person, so much. So yes, and then I also added this. I chose this stem specifically because it kind of resembled like a family tree with leaves, and the 9 leaf represents me and all of my siblings because it was 9 of us. So the 2 items that will go on sale for now are these black sweaters, and I will have some black hoodies. Also, I will be accepting pre-orders until November 1st, so get y'all hand on some of this merch dedicated to my mother. Thank you guys for all of the love and support. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for my next video.